Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. Now the news in full. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called for education system capable of addressing modern challenges. The Vice President made the call during the opening plenary of the African Student Leaders General Assembly and Ordinary Congress in Abuja. The Vice President, who was represented by Personal Assistant to President Bola Tinubu on domestic Northeast Mahmoud Mohammed, urged African students to embrace the realities of the continent while striving for global excellence. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo has approved the disbandment of the Security Joint Inspections Table to end corrupt practices and unnecessary delays of passengers of Nigerian terminals, especially during the yellow tide season. Keyamo, in his post on X, said the decision was aimed at curbing the menace of harassment of travelers by various government agencies. The decision is also contained in a position paper by the Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Olubunmi Kuku, dated December 2nd and endorsed by the minister. A fire has engulfed a section of Queen Elizabeth Hall, a female-only hostel for undergraduates at the University of Ibadan. The incident occurred in the early hours of Thursday, although the exact cause of the fire remains unknown as of the time of filing this report. The fire primarily affected the offices of the hall warden and secretary, raising concerns about the safety and security of students residing in the faculty. Confirming the incident, Director of Public Relations at the University, Joke Akinpelu, said the cause of the fire has not been officially determined and said investigations are underway. The Senate at commencement of plenary replaced Chief Whip Senator Tahir Mangunu with Senator Kaka Shehu to represent the Northeast geopolitical zone in the committee scheduled to meet with the Attorney General of the Federation on the tax reform bills earlier on today. Recall that the Senate had constituted a 10-man committee headed by Minority Leader Senator Abba Moro to meet with the AGF and address the gray areas in the tax reform bills that have ignited opposition to the bill. But the Senate resolved that principal officers of the Red Chamber should not be part of the meeting apart from the committee members. The Senator Leader, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, in his submission during plenary, however, said Senator Moro was made chairman of the committee to ensure transparency. In another development, a bill proposing the creation of coastal state from the current Ondo state has passed its first reading in the Senate. The bill, sponsored by Senator Jimo Ibrahim, representing the APC in Ondo South, seek a constitutional amendment to enable the establishment of new state aimed at fostering development in riverine communities within Ondo's southern senatorial district. Speaking on the bill, Senator Ibrahim emphasized the importance of the proposed coastal state in accelerating the socio-economic growth of the region, particularly its riverine areas, addressing concerns over alleged plans to incorporate the Ondo Southern Senatorial District into the proposed Ijebu state. The senator opposed the idea as he declared that the district must remain part of the current Ondo state or the proposed coastal state. Ahead of December 7th general election in Ghana, former President Goodluck Jonathan has led a delegation of the West African Elders Forum Observation Mission to Accra. The forum's communications officer, Wealth Omoni Nabo, said on arrival in Ghana, Jonathan urged Ghanaians to be patriotic and work for a peaceful, free and transparent election. Commended the people of Ghana for their enduring commitment to democratic values, noting that Ghana's history of peaceful political transition serves as a beacon for democratic governance across Africa. The Nigerian Army has organized a workshop aimed at enhancing cooperation between the military, media and other security agencies to address the growing challenges posed by the digital media landscape. The event, held at the Nigerian Army School of Public Relations and Information in Giri, Abuja, brought together security and paramilitary representatives, media professionals and online publishers. Kike Lomo Okere has details.
The workshop themed Leveraging Digital Social Media Influence for effective military operation within a joint environment was designed to explore how media can serve as a force multiplier in supporting military operations. The acting chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, who was represented by the Chief of Civil Military Affairs, Major General Nosakari Ubu, emphasized the media's pivotal role in supporting the Army's constitutional duties in promoting the national security. He commended the media for their roles in reporting the Army's achievements and reinforcing the need to combat fake news to foster public confidence in the military.
The media shapes not only the public perception, opinion, and narratives, but also influences and galvanizes public support, which is a vital variable for operational successes. To this end, the continuous and seamless collaboration between the Nigerian Army and the media must be maintained at all times.
The Director of Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Nwanchukwu, highlighted the crucial roles of the media in shaping public perception, particularly in the era where digital platforms often fueled misinformation and disinformation. He noted that while social media presents opportunities for the military to communicate its successes, it also poses risk by spreading false information that can undermine public trust and national security.
Ladies and gentlemen, is also organized as part of efforts by the Nigerian Army to further enhance the existing relationship amongst stakeholders in information management, the Nigerian Army and the public in the interest of national security and nation building.
The Commandant, Nigerian Army of Public Relations and Information, Lieutenant General Adamu Ngude, announced his plans to modernize NASPRI, transforming it into a world-class institution aimed at equipping Army personnel with advanced skills to navigate modern media challenges. He says the workshop is aimed to strengthen the partnership between the military and the media to foster understanding, improve information management, and craft positive narrative to back national security efforts.
It is high time we realize that in modern warfare, the media plays a pivotal role for any successful military operations. This is because the media space has become the ultimate decider of who wins or loses the war. Therefore, the need to always collaborate with media for successful military operations becomes paramount for promoting the right narrative and messaging.
The workshop elaborates the importance of seamless collaboration between the Nigerian Army and the media in achieving national security goals. Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Headquarters says troops of internal operations in the 5 theaters across the country have neutralized over 8,000 terrorists, arrested 11,623 others, while 6,376 hostages were rescued between January and December 2024. Direct Defense Media Operations Major General Edward Buba, who gave the figures at the bi-weekly update on military operations, said troops also recovered over 8,200 weapons, 211,459 ammunitions, and stolen crude oil. Now, in a bid to ensure the development of quality infrastructure across Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodimma have been touring various ongoing projects aimed at addressing the state's infrastructure gaps and improving the quality of life for its residents. Amarachi Ibe was on the governor's entourage and now reports.
The governor began his tour at the Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu Convention Center in Owerri, a flagship project designed to transform the state into a hub for national and international events. The convention center, once completed, is expected to boost tourism, create job opportunities, and elevate Imo State's profile on the global stage. The governor moved to the Control Maria Assumpta Cathedral flyover, a critical infrastructure project aimed at easing traffic congestion in the state capital. The flyover is expected to significantly improve the flow of movements within Owerri.
So all we have seen is all the facility and international conference center, 80% complete. We saw the flyover at Assumpta Cathedral roundabout, almost 70% complete. You've come to Olu, you've seen the road, the Banana Junction to Eziashi, and the government house are next. In our quest to decentralize government, we have taken it upon us to build a government house annex in Olu and another one in Okigwe.
Next on the list was the ongoing rehabilitation of Eziachi-Olu Road, a key link road connecting several communities. This road, which has long been in a state of disrepair, is being revitalized to enhance access and improve transportation for residents. Governor Hope Uzodimma also visited the new government house annex. He commended the contractors for staying on the track with the project timeline and emphasized the importance of such projects in boosting governance efficiency.
It's not only a federal road, it's also connecting some other states. From here I can get to Anambra State. From here I can get to Akwa Ibom State and Abia State. And the level of devastation is so alarming that ordinarily one will assume that it's above the strength of a state government. But we have borrowed courage somehow to see how we can rescue our people from this malady.
Some residents of Eziachi expressed gratitude to the governor for reconstructing the road.
Before now it has been flooded, and in fact I don't even follow this road going back home from because of the flood. Sometimes there are cases of where children are being drawn along the line. So it's a very serious problem. The
governor also visited the Imo State Teaching Hospital, Olu, where a 200-bed medical facility is being constructed, which is expected to significantly improve the healthcare service for the people of Imo State. Governor Hope Uzodimma shifted his focus to the Umuchima erosion site, a long-standing ecological challenge threatening the livelihood and safety of residents in the south and north of the state, assuring the communities that his administration is fully committed to controlling the erosion and preventing further damage to the area. He expressed confidence that the project will be completed in record time with significant improvement to both the environment and the safety of residents. With the governor's assurance and ongoing efforts to address key infrastructure needs, residents remain hopeful that this project will bring long-lasting improvement to the state, enhancing the well-being and quality of life for all. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
The Trade Union Congress, TUC, has cautioned state governments against announcing a minimum wage that is not negotiated with organized labor at the state level. President Congress Festus Osifo stated this in Abuja while speaking at the end of the National Executive Council meeting of the Central Labor Body. He explained that the minimum wage is not a stand-alone wage structure, but also the consequential adjustment of wages that involve other categories of workers. The Congress boss, who lamented the industrial dispute over wages in Cross River and Zamfara State, urged the two states to be responsive to the welfare of its workers. Over now to Edo State Police Command has ordered an investigation into circumstances that led to the death of the former chairman of the National Labour Congress, NLC, Comrade Kaduna Egbelbodin, at the police checkpoint in Benin City. The command spokesman SP Moses Iyamu said the State Commissioner of Police, Omoro Ozigi, gave the order while commiserating with the widow, family and friends of the deceased over the loss and prayed for the repose of his soul. Reports say Egbelbodin was driving with his spouse on Monday in Benin City when the police stopped him and demanded his vehicle particulars, which he provided. But a discrepancy in the documents sparked a heated argument at the police were said to have accused him of driving a stolen vehicle. The situation, according to reports, degenerated into arguments, and Egbelbodin, who had become infuriated, allegedly slumped on the spot. The trial of the immediate past governor of Kwara State, Abdul Fatai Ahmed, and his finance commissioner, Ademola Banu, have been arraigned before Justice Mohammed Abdul Ghaffar of the Kwara State High Court in Ilorin over alleged stealing and mismanagement of public funds to the tune of 5.78 billion naira. The governor and his finance commissioner were among others accused of having conspired to steal money meant for payment of salaries of teachers working with the Kwara State Universal Basic Education Board, However, the duo pleaded not guilty and were subsequently admitted to bail, and the case was adjourned for trial at the resumed hearing on Wednesday. The EFCC presented its first witness, Abubakar Hassan, an Assistant Director of Finance, Universal Basic Education Commission, who told the court that the Kwara state government misappropriated about 5 billion naira meant to execute projects at primary and junior secondary schools between 2013 and 2015, when Abdul Fattah Ahmed held sway as governor. Justice Abdul Ghaffar adjourned further hearing in the case to February 17, 2025. Some members of the Nigerian Armed Forces retirees under the umbrella of Coalition of Military Pensioners in Abuja reportedly shut down the Federal Ministry of Finance over the non-payment of their 20% to 28% salary increment from January to November 2024. The retired military officers who came from different chapters lamented the failure of the former government to pay them their entitlements. Hence, they demand payment of palliatives from October 2023 to November 2024. Payment of 32,000 naira added to pension, payment of security debarment, allowance in bulk, and refund of deductions made from the pensions of medically boarded soldiers, amongst others. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Court of Justice, has ordered the Federal Republic of Nigeria to compensate Oluwatimileyin Adebayo with 5 million naira for the violation of his rights to freedom from torture. The court also ordered Nigeria to conduct a prompt, impartial, and effective investigation into the torture and persecute those responsible. Adebayo in the suit accused some police officers from Ogun State of subjecting him to severe physical abuse, including beating him with the handle of an axe and tying his limbs with chains to a pole. He said the ordeal caused him physical injuries, including trauma to his scrotum, and left him suffering from significant psychological distress. You are watching News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, where News Cycle returns Togo to elect first Senate in February under Constitution overall. Details of this, as well as business and sports stories, coming right after this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. On our business desk, the Bank of Industry has secured a $50 million faculty from the African Guarantee Fund to help more women business owners scale their enterprises. The agreement was signed at the ongoing African Investment Forum in Rabat, Morocco, by the bank's managing director, Dr. Olusopo Olusi. Dr. Olusi stated that the faculty aligned with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision to promote inclusivity and drive economic prosperity. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has unveiled ambitious and credible plans to reform housing, boost police numbers, and fix aligning health services in the de facto relaunch of his government after a bumpy first 5 months in power. The Labour leader laid out 6 targets to take the country forward on which voters can judge his administration, seeking to move on from several unpopular decisions that have overshadowed his flagging premiership. Starmer noted that the plan for change includes missions to make our country strong, missions to make working people better off, missions this government will deliver. Bitcoin has scored past the $100,000 mark, driven by a surge in investor confidence following United States President-elect Donald Trump's pivot towards a pro-crypto stance. The cryptocurrency, which climbed to $103,800 on Thursday, saw a remarkable 50% rise in Trump's election victory in November. The rally gained momentum after Trump nominated Paul Askins, a prominent crypto advocate, to lead the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). On the foreign news now, Togo is to hold its first elections for the upper house of parliament. The Senate on February 2nd, one of the last steps towards implementing a contested new constitution, the government said on Thursday. The overhaul abolished the election of the head of state for universal suffrage and introduces a parliamentary system. It has been slammed by opposition and civil society groups as a ploy for President Farouk to hold on to power indefinitely. Togo's strongman has ruled over the small West African country of 8.8 million people since 2005, when he took over from his father in power for 38 years. Under the provisional constitution, would have been able to run for the presidency just one more time in 2025. New York police are continuing to search for a suspect after the head of U.S. insurance company United Healthcare was shot and killed in what they have called a targeted attack. Brian Thompson was shot in the back and leg after outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Investigators say the words "deny, defend, and dispose" were written on the shell casing recovered at the scene of the attack. Colombian Finance Minister Ricardo Bonilla has resigned at the request of President Gustavo Petro after accusations that he turned a blind eye to the bribery of parliamentarians. A former advisor accused Bonilla last week of knowing that lawmakers were being paid off in return for backing key reforms promised by Petro. The Attorney General's office alleged bribes were paid with $200,000 taken from public funds, but Bonilla has maintained his innocence. However, Pedro said at a press conference that Bonilla would be replaced by his deputy, Diego Galvara. And finally, on sports, the draw for the expanded FIFA World Cup takes place in Miami, offering a first glimpse into the fine detail of the tournament that has been viewed with the indifference of even outright hostility across the parts of the football world. 32 star-studded club teams will battle it out in a gleaming state-of-the-art arena in what is effectively a certain razor for the 2025 World Cup taking place a year later in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. In theory, the new-look competition ought to be an enticing prospect that sells itself a month-long football festival, the first large-scale club tournament to feature teams from all corners of the globe. Super Falcons and Paris FC showstopper Chiamaka Nnadozie have been named in the final shortlist of 5 of battle of the prestigious CAF Women's Player of the Year, to be decided at the Palais des Congrès de Dakar, Morocco on December 16. The Confederation of African Football CAF unveiled the top 5 nominees in each of the women's categories at the upcoming 2024 CAF Awards, with Nnadozie also listed for the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year prize, which she incidentally won last year. According to the Continental Soccer ruling body, the 2024 CAF Awards cover the period from January to October this year. That's it on News Cycle on Global TV, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nicomsat. Now kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.